Hi, Deirdre. How are you?
I'm good. There's that red sticker saying that we're live. So
Yeah, we are live. Yeah, so I'm just pulling up our live on our Facebook page, and hopefully, oh, there we are. So just 1 second. Right, excellent. Okay, so now I can see people as they join us. Okay.
Okay.
So lovely stuff. So anyway, somebody's joined us. Hi. So how are you, Deirdre, after yesterday?
Well, I got through it. A lot of preparation doing something else first, and then I realized I should have been prepping for a different subject. So anyway.
Together with that and me falling off the Twitter chair like 100 times.
Oh, at least you didn't fall on your head. You seem.
Oh my God, I might as well have. It was a bit of fun anyway.
Yeah, excellent.
Oh my God, my stomach was hurting last night from the laughter anyway. So, right, okay. So anyway, did you enjoy it? Did you have fun?
I did, yes. It was a bit different in that normally my head is on stalks looking to make sure I grab everybody that so much retweets something during the hour, and so that was a little bit relaxed. But I had to make sure that I caught questions and that. Even though and that things went out on time, and then tried to retweet them again, and it was a little bit different than usual, to say the least.
I say so. I don't think I did as good a job as you. I think I missed a few, but anyway, we had a laugh, and it was nice to turn the table on you and put the spotlight on your business, because you're quite a talented designer, I have to say myself, and I love your work, and especially.
Thank you so much.
And you love typography, and I think that's where we meet our love of lettering, the way things sort of fit together, if you will, when we're trying to convey a message. But thankfully, we're going to make up for yesterday, and we're going to run through the questions that. Oh my gosh, I'm really not with it. I'm still not with it. I think I left my head somewhere a few days back.
You did very well.
Thank you, my darling. Thank you. So, Deirdre, we're going to run over the questions again, and you can expand them on a little bit if you want to, and maybe give us a little bit more information about yourself. Okay. So, tell me, Deirdre, how can graphic design help?
Well, graphic design help can. I forgot.
Should we start again?
Spending so much time trying to writing things up, and my head is in edit mode. So anyway, one of the best things about being a designer is that I'm lucky enough to meet people who are passionate about what they do, their events they're want to promote, or even business and where it's going. And it's in conversations with people about their event product, or that they want to. And research that I've done on their business. It's from there that the concepts and design solutions come from. So that means that the design is very unique to the people that I'm working for at that time. And the goal would be that that would maybe in a business setting that would continue into the future. And I'm very open to receiving queries. So throughout the process, I'm available by phone, email, various social media, and essentially, just the process through to talking to the customer, discussing the event, where they want to take it, and from there it was creation of artwork, and I would deal with the printers, and basically it's bringing text and image together to create something unique for the couple or their family, or who are going to attend the wedding, or even create gifts in, maybe somebody has an idea for that.
Yeah. Sarah's just left a comment. She goes, I see the giggles still haven't left yet. We're finding it hard. Yeah. So Sarah's actually asking a question here, and it's a really good question. So I'd like to ask you that question, actually, Deirdre. Okay. So what are your tips for marketing graphics for small businesses?
Well, after somebody has a good personalized their mark, so to speak, logotype, symbol, combination, monograph, then the next thing that they absolutely need is a business card.
Yes.
And on that business card, it needs to have at least their name, their business name, and at least a telephone number, and preferably something like a website as well. And that will be the minimum thing that you'd have on a business card. After that, I'm sure you've seen a lot of information on some business cards. Yes. And that just needs to be readable. We'd lecturers, and it always stuck with me, they'd say that when you give somebody a business card, it should be that if they were running down the street and they were trying to get into a telephone booth, they whip out your business card and they can still read it. So your contact number needs to be something that pops, as well as your logo. Yeah. Then
would you say your logo would be sort of the most important thing, because it's going to be the one thing that, like, it's like your branding, isn't it? Your logo.
Well, your logo is part of your branding. It's the logo that is your mark. It should describe your business basically it's the mark that makes you stand out from other businesses of your kind. Yeah. And so it's important that there's some element of how you think about your business in that, as well as it telling people that at a glance what you do. And you think of that and you say, well, so and so used goldfish. That was more of a memory hook. Anybody that saw this stylized goldfish and their name under it, they knew who that person was. But for a lot of people, say a plumber, they might use some element, maybe of a tap, or say to indicate water, or if they use a particular tool, some reference to that. Then basically the skies can be the limit, but it also must come down and point to the business. So that's one of the things that a logo, it's not something that you should say, oh damn, I need one. And I saw this fella, I can give him a $5 and he'll send me back, because I've had people come back to me after they do something like that, and invariably they end up being more than a $5. But they said, I saw this other fella, this other business in a completely different sector, and they had the same logo as I have. And you look at it and you say, you kind of explain to them why that might not have been a good direction to go down. but anyway, to get back to the question, have your identity, your mark right first. But even if you don't have the mark, always have a business card.
Yeah.
Because, and then after that, I would suggest a DL leaflet or A5 leaflet, that when you meet somebody and you've had that conversation about what you do, what you can do for them, that you can leave that with them, and they have your contact details, and they can say, it's small enough to slip into their diary and have it there afterwards.
Almost like a compliment slip of the old days, like, just to, sometimes a compliment slip was the thing that we held on to. We might get rid of everything else, but the compliment slip we kind of held on to, Let me just bring you on and just take you away from branding and working with a designer for your logos and your business. I just want to find out from you, Deirdre, like, these aren't the questions we actually asked you last night. I'm just actually going on from Sarah's question, because I think that's sort of more pertinent to maybe the Irish Wedding Chat community and what designers can do for small businesses. And also like for people who maybe even today are doing online events, or are looking to the future because they're going to get married next year.
Yeah.
Like, what are the benefits of working with a graphic designer as opposed to going to something like Vista or something like that to go and get your wedding stationery, or the way they do the business cards, isn't it, 100 for a £5 or something like that? What are the benefits of going with you rather than going with something that's available online and almost immediately available?
Well, to begin with a designer or myself, you're getting something that is unique to your product, your event, and I sit down with you. I talk about what you want. I listen to your ideas. Then I do some research on that, and then near the end, sometimes I might come back. I need to come back to get the brief, and sometimes having discussed it, I can ask you a set of questions to get the brief. Basically, from that, I discover kind of some of the nitty-gritty, whether there's particular colors and particular styles that you like or absolutely hate. Whereas if you go to what is essentially a printer, they're working with pre-designed artwork, and they're trying to fit it to your theme, to your even and people, when they go onto Vistaprint, they're given a selection of images and typeface that they can combine together, and you put in your words, and the computer joins the pieces together. I mean, as a place to print your artwork, you can upload artwork to it, unique artwork to it, and print. You're limited to the papers and some of the finishes, but I would certainly recommend it, say, for business cards, the first time, business cards, because there's a selection of some nice papers there, and if you're uploading your own design, I mean, there's the important thing is that the amount of time that a designer can spend and working with the couple or the planning team. Yeah.
I would assume, well, I know from myself, when I'm asked to design wedding stationery, which is pretty rare for me, designers like yourself would be designing wedding stationery or wedding stationery. You do it from start to finish, whereas I might only do little sections of it and then come back and inscribe it. I assume that if you were to use somebody like yourself to do your wedding package, that number one, you would have a package available to them, say from your invitation all the way through to your thank yous.
Yes.
And maybe a gift or two in between as well. So I assume you actually offer packages like that to people who are getting married or people that are holding events, because even though we are in a pandemic at the moment, we do know that next year things will be getting, we will have some normality. So for couples that are getting married that want to do something unique, is there, or even for businesses like myself, the small micro business that want to have a full package, including their branding, their logos, etc. Is that something you can actually offer?
Yeah, because that's that's the what graphic design is. I mean, when it comes to say for a wedding, they might start with the save the date teaser, that then followed on with an invitation. And then looking at the location that the wedding's in, there's a variety of things like the place pieces, or the place cards, menus, both drinks and food, and then there can be other little, as you know, I make 3-dimensional cards that open out. They could be specifically be designed as favors or souvenirs, and then you're basically there's the various printed material for the wedding itself, the booklets, sometimes people make souvenirs of the readings, or a quote from the reading, and then you're sending out thank you cards, and delighted you could be here. So again, that could be a card, or it could be something that is a souvenir or a keepsake in some way.
Just coming back to your lovely, I love them. The origami invitations, yes, and paper crafting that you do, and I think that would be fantastic as a gift, or rather as a wedding favor, or even as a thank you, because I know that weddings that I've been to that I've had really unique favors, I still have them.
Yeah.
So that would be an area that maybe would allow the event or the couple to stand out from everyone else, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And can you do that sort of on a one-off basis? Can you do that for, say, if somebody came to you and said, Deirdre, I have everything sorted, but I really like these. So can you do them as favors, and can you do them as thank yous? Just that,
Yes, I mean, I can. I have a few different forms that I can make, and I have I adapt a number of those forms, and I discover more as I'm going along. So by the forms, I mean the pieces that you pull out, and
each one of those is made by hand, isn't it? Sorry for interrupting you.
By hand. The piece in particular that from Gem Studio, that was printed. In fact, most of the pieces there are commercially printed, but I have to decide on what goes on, how the piece will appear in the folds. So that's all part of the design, and create the artwork for that, and then they come back to me, and it's that has to be hand folded to do it properly.
That really makes you stand out from the crowd as graphic designers go, because I don't know any that I know that have that origami. That's really, really special. Just as a by the by, I think it makes you, that's like your USP, because you're using this paper crafting and you are elevating the invitation, or you're elevating the invitation, or whatever it happens to be that you're going to be using the the origami for, like, you know,
Yeah.
so just as a by the by. I'm just very conscious of the time. Believe it or not, Deirdre, we've already hit 20 minutes.
Minutes, yeah. As you said that, I was looking up at the little red
I think we did really well not to be giggling through the whole thing. What about you? Okay, now seeing that we've done it again, is there anything that you'd like to quickly tell us about, or, you know, maybe tell her, is there anything else that I've probably missed out a whole load of stuff, but is there anything that you'd like to tell us about?
Well, I mean, basically, you know, when I'd work with somebody from with their wedding or for any event, I'm always available then to, in the future, say they might have the next big business in mind, you know, the next big thing, or even, you know, or even better, they have a fantastic idea that their passion that they want to turn into a business. I mean, that's where I started, and a lot of my early, you know, I one of the fantastic things I get to go through from when somebody else is starting and their various stages of development. I'm very lucky with, I mentioned Jacinta earlier, and she's one example of, we started together, and as things grew and changed and evolved, in some elements, her identity, it has grown as well. Her mark, and we've produced some great things, and some, you know, quiet design and some loud design, and the fold out piece, and we've been together for over 20 years.
Wow.
So that kind of
wow.
I like to feel that I build relationships with my customers, and that they're more friends than
customers,
than the bottom line type of thing.
So you must offer a really good value. Like, as you said that, you know, I'm just thinking of my own customers, my own clients, and that it's great when they come back to you, you know, especially for, say, a paper anniversary. In my case, they might come back to me for a paper anniversary or a christening or something like that, you know. So I mean, 20 years, that's fantastic. That is awesome. Like, you know, you must be really, like, she must be really pleased to be with you, and you must be really pleased as well.
And we've had a few arguments over the years, but they've all been educational, and we're both, she's print in that screen printing and fabrics. So, you know, we can have, well, we'll describe them as heated conversations, but, you know, we've always come back, and they've always been educational.
And we can say, like, creatives do have that passion about themselves. So, you know, we can have heated debates, not necessarily arguments, and it's all part and parcel of the creative process. Unless you have giggle fits like me.
And of course, you know, it's not just startups. You know, you can take a design of brochures, annual reports. I've had great fun with annual reports. That they're major show-off opportunities for companies. So, and you know, to catalogs, newspaper advertising of all sizes. And, you know, it's all, you know, it's great fun to find the different ways to help businesses promote themselves, and you know, from the €1 furniture to hundreds of euros of hundreds of euro, thousands of cars, and, you know, it's
maybe I'm just thinking, like, I'm going to think out aloud now, and then maybe just wrap this up, because we're at 24 minutes. Where does the time go? I just had an idea, so I'm just going to verbalize it, and then maybe if anybody's watching this on replay, they can let us know. And also you can let us know as well, and you can think about it. But I'm kind of thinking that maybe it might be nice for the Irish Wedding Chat suppliers group to learn a little bit more about what you can offer them in terms of branding, logos, and working with them to increase their visibility, because you're a wizard on Twitter. So like, you know, that's I think that's a platform that a lot of small businesses think that their audiences aren't there.
Yeah.
And branding has a lot to do with that as well. And, you know, that's where I think it might be an idea for us to maybe do a webinar on that. You know, maybe we could consider doing that if you're up for it, and if people would like us to do it.
I'd certainly give it a go. At times I'm not great on the camera because I do too much rehearsing, actually. And then I get there, I'm editing things in my head. And it's the same when I write as well. I look back on articles that I've written on my news feed, and some of the more successful ones are the ones that, you know, I had written out my points beforehand, and I'd read a bit, and then I kind of leave it alone for a while and then come back and write it. Whereas when you keep going back and editing it, I found that if you keep going back and editing it, you find nicer ways to say things sometimes, that and then you look at it again and you say, oh, too much jargon. But anyway, but that just happens in my head if I spend too much time.
Okay, I completely get it. I can do that as well. So listen, we're almost at 30 minutes, so we're almost getting up to the half an hour mark, right? So we're going to say goodbye. We hope you don't start again. I'm going to end up having another fit of the giggles. I tell you what, himself will definitely be taking me out of here. So listen, Deirdre, thank you so much, and thank you so much for putting up with me last night.
Oh, no problem. I mean, you did very well. I mean, you're used to it because you were the single host before you brought me in onto the scene.
I know, but you do forget it is like riding a bike, and I did fall off of the chair a few times. But anyway, listen.
Ashling up as well, our Eilish up. She seemed to have quite a fall off the picture of the bicycle.
So listen, everyone, thank you so much for joining myself and Deirdre this afternoon. We hope you enjoyed our little interview. If you'd like to know more about what Deirdre does, feel free to contact her directly, and please do share this video with your friends. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.